In the last episode, we demonstrated how the ArcGIS online system is an excellent tool to enhance understanding of spatial relationships in environmental science concepts. Beyond the ability to turn layers on and off, the ArcGIS online system has the capability to modify the visualizations of attribute data within the different layers. Most data layers related to environmental science topics include multiple unique attributes. The ArcGIS online system provides users the ability to select an attribute, determine the number of classifications and type of display of statistical data, and to filter data to be displayed from layers. This substantially increases the potential for students to conduct analysis and critical thinking. In this episode, we are going to demonstrate these capabilities in the classic map viewer. We are going to use the layer Global Power Plants. So what we have here is we've got a web map entitled Global Power Plants, and we've got here is the attributes which show all the power plants across the world by the type. And let's take a look at what is actually in the attributes of this particular layer. We can quickly do that by looking at the table. So we have opened up the table, and what you can see here is you've got the country code, country name, power plant name, some codes, the capacity of the power plant in megawatts, location, latitude, and longitude. We've got the fuel type, and we've got three different attributes here for multiple fuel type: commissioning year, owner, data source, web link for the different power plants, the information on the geolocation, the year of capacity data, and you can see that each layer does have the possibility of bringing in an awful lot of data. So let's close out the table there. And so let's take a look at the first thing of what we can do in as far as looking at the attribute data and making changes in visualization. And the first thing we're going to take a look at is the ability to filter the data. So we've got a data dialog box, and what we're going to do is we're going to pick a particular fuel type. So we're going to go down, we're going to pick fuel, and let's take a look here, and let's select as far as coal, and we are going to apply the filter. And now we have filtered out, and this now is showing the various locations of where the coal plants are around the world. And we can make a change on that, and let's do that, and let's change that to solar. And we apply the filter. And there you can see that we have gotten as far as the solar power plants around the world. So let's close that filter. Remove the filter. And we bring up as far as our original with all the power plants around the world. Now, the next thing what we're going to do is we are going to change the display as far as what attribute is going to be changed. So we're going to go to that. We're going to change the style, and let's take a look as far as capacity. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a look as far as the variation as far as on the capacity. And here we can show you that we can do a variation in the types of how we display the data. We can first of all select from defaults to using natural breaks, equal interval, standard deviation, quantile, and manual breaks. So let's take a look at what the map changes when we use quantile, which gives the same number as far as selections as they are. And also we can change the number of classes. So you can see here the capacity of how it breaks down. So we can do this, we can change that, we can show now 7 different classes. And we also can go in and we can change as far as dealing with the symbols of what type of symbol we're looking at, as far as a shape, the fill combination, and outlines. So here I'm changing as far as on a quantile with 5 different classes, and I am going to as far as there, and when we do this and make the change, we also can use the filter again and for a numerical, and as far as for a value, and looking at that is for maybe say greater than 300, as far as I'm going to pick the value here as being 300. So here now we are looking at the power plants as far as that have a capacity of greater than 300 megawatts. So now we have a filter with showing the power plants as far as greater than 300 megawatt. And one of the things that is also a tool to analyze data is we're going to go back in here with this particular setup. And what we're going to do is do a heat map. And in the heat map, what this does, it shows you the density of the locations of this particular attribute. So the last thing I want to show you is that as far as the ability, if you want an actual count of the distribution as far as on an attribute. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to go to change styles. We're going to look as far as on options, and we're going to completely ungroup. And now what you do is you get a count for each of the different field types. The ability to vary visualizations of attribute data using the classic map viewer in the ArcGIS online system substantially builds on turning layers on and off. This greatly increases students being able to analyze data to better understand environmental science concepts and make conclusions. In the next episode, we will examine the ability of the ArcGIS online system to import data from spreadsheets and display them in the map viewer. This is a very valuable tool for student fieldwork.